Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. And thank you for subscribing to the latest edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. I am 12 Kyle. Check this out. On this episode, what I want to talk about is shoot your shot, ladies. Now, before I start, let me put this disclaimer out here, right? I'm not an expert. I'm not a dating expert. I'm not Steve Harvey out here faking and perpetrating. I'm just a dude on a podcast, right? And I am married. I mean, married. Been married for a long time. So I know nothing about what's going on in these streets, but I know a little bit. So what I want to talk about is ladies shooting your shot. Um, One thing I've realized over a period of time is that at least from the seat that I sit in, and I wasn't always married, so I'm gonna incorporate my thoughts as a single man as well. There was a time, I think, at least from what I could tell, as someone who grew up in the '80s and the '90s, um, where you know, if a woman liked you, if she liked a guy, like she would just flat out tell him. Like it wasn't no really beating around the bush. You know what I mean? Like if she liked you, I mean, and granted, it's stages, right? So when you were in middle school and elementary school, if a girl likes you, she'd punch you in the arm or something. it's, it's battery nowadays, but yeah, I mean, like, so if a girl liked you back in middle school and elementary school, that was a little bit different. When you got to high school, it's the passing of the letters. That was our era, passing notes. Hey, do you like me? Check yes, check no, check maybe so. And, I mean, so nobody does that nowadays, of course, because nobody writes letters anymore because, you got, you know, fingers and you got thumbs and you got cell phones that you can type everything on, right? So nobody approaches anybody like that anymore. So, um, but even coming up in the era in which I came up, I mean, like, what I'm saying is that women, at least the women that I saw and the women that I dealt with and the women that I was around, um, seem to be pretty direct. I mean, like if they liked you, they pretty much didn't leave any doubt about it. Like there was very little, up for interpretation. Because most, at least the ones that I knew, if they liked you, they wanted to seize the moment as far as approaching. So um again, that was a different day and time and different stage of my life. Now things are a little bit different because of technology and how we interact, really, how we communicate is totally different than we did 20, 30 years ago. So I said all that to say this. I was scrolling on the Twitter the other day, and it's funny because like I am constantly amazed at how and where I find content. I just happen to be minding my own business, just flicking my thumb. In fact, I know exactly what I was doing. We were having a conference call at work, and it's one of those conference calls where everybody's on there and it's just a little small talk. And we're on Zoom and people, some people have their cameras up, some people don't. I didn't have mine up, and we're just sitting there and it's like little small talk. And I ain't got much to say, so I'm just there. I'm like, I'm like Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined, right? And I just happened to was kind of bored, so I opened up the Twitter, and somebody retweeted the following tweet into my timeline, and it was sent by somebody named at Pisces underscore Sun One, and she said, and I'm assuming it's a she. Her avatar is a cat. It says, "Men, comma, how should a woman shoot their shot at you? What should she say?" Question mark. And I thought that was very interesting because now she is actually soliciting men and their thoughts on how they should be approached. And before I get into the responses, I just want to just give you some feedback on that. I thought that was a very interesting question. Um, and I think the thing is that it really depends on, what level and what generation you came from. And that's not to say that, you know, women of today aren't, direct or, uh, you know, forthright as far as their feelings and everything like that. It just, eh, I'm just, I can only speak from what I know and what I see. It seems like a lot, or quite a bit of women that I can see and that I know, they're a little bit more passive aggressive, not as, forthright and forthcoming as to who they want or what they like, or if they like a guy being, approach it. Because here's the thing, ladies, you got to shoot your shot at some point. I mean, you got to be, I mean, look at the cover art. Cover art is my man, Steph Curry. You got to be Steph Curry at some point, because here's the thing, we all know this. We always know this to be true. Women outnumber men by wide margins. And it doesn't matter if you're white, black, red, green, yellow, purple, whatever color. Women outnumber men. And I want to say it's what is it? How many people? It's 9 billion people on this planet. So there's somebody for everybody. In fact, I mean, truth be told, if you wanted to have more than one person, you could have multiple people, male or female. But, but, but my point in saying that is, if you see somebody that you like, you see somebody that you find attractive, you probably should let it be known. In the great words of Snoop Dogg. Um, Shout out to Snoop. So yeah, I mean, like, let it be known. Let your feelings be known. Let them know what you. And I don't think that, it's necessarily means that you're thirsty or you're, a gold digger or anything like that. Um, I mean, we could talk about that later, but shout out to Kim Kardashian. But anyway, um, I think just as a guy, we appreciate those who, men appreciate being approached. I'll just put it like that. Women, you know, depending on the day, depending on the time, you might be somewhat annoyed because maybe, just maybe between you getting out of your car and walking to your building to go to work, there could be 4 guys that approach you, asking you for your phone number, saying something smart, saying something about what you're wearing. I know that I can't say I know. That could be or will be annoying as hell, right? I get it. Um, on the flip side, that's not happening to most men. In fact, that's not happening to 99.9% of men. We're getting out of our car and we're walking their car, and women aren't. Even if they think we're attractive, they're not saying a word to us. Oh, you might get a good morning or you might get a hello, but ain't nobody whistling or cat calling no dudes. It's not happening unless they're in a car driving by. It's the scrub in the passenger side. Yeah, that's right. She's a scrub. Um, but no, I mean, so I think for the most part, we like to be approached. I think in saying that, some men don't know how to handle once they are approached. And I think that's the difference. And so I understand why some women just flat out don't approach men, because you never know how he's going to take it. There's going to be the guy who, comes off as, well, yeah, you should come to me like that. And there's going to be the other guy that's going to be like just a straight up creep. And there's going to be the other guy that's going to be totally enamored and flattered with you because you approached him. So, um, shoot your shot, ladies. Shoot your shot. So back to the tweet. Okay. So I'm going to read to you. And I saved this in my drafts and I have not looked at this tweet until it was time for me to record. So I'm just going to read to you just some of the ones that pop up here. The first reply: hey, I just met you and it's crazy, but here's my number. So call me. I don't know. That's if somebody said that to me, of course, now provided I'm not married. I take that. I take that. That's a little that. I mean, just offering off the rip, like just not. Hey, what's your name? What's your number? What's your sign? I mean, are people still doing the what's your number? What's your sign? I know that was big in the '80s and the '90s. Um, yeah, that might be a little bit, but I mean, maybe most guys will take that. Here's the next response from a guy. Let me cook you something. That way, I know you will like. No, I'm sorry. Let me cook you something that I know you will like it, so I can like you. Mm, maybe, maybe she responded saying that was cute. I don't know. Um, hey, handsome, or just stare. Hey, handsome is cool. I can roll with the hey, handsome. That's a good 3-point attempt right there. That's Steph Curry range right there. Hey, handsome. Or just stare. No, I don't know about all that. I'm a little. I get a little miffed if I feel like you're staring. Um, well, it depends. Let me take that back. It depends, and it's funny. I'm gonna share with you this story I have. There's a personality. I'll say I'm not gonna say her name. There's a personality here in Atlanta. We were in a we were in this social gathering. I think it was like one of those after hour lounges or whatever like that, just after work. Just it was like a little happy hour, whatever. And I know her because she was a personality in the city of Atlanta, right where I live. And she don't know me. I'm just, 12 Kyle. She don't know me. She don't know my podcast. She don't know nothing. But this lady kept staring at me. Like she was staring like, hey, 12 Kyle. And what's funny was like eh, I'm confident, right? I'm extremely confident. I'm very charismatic, if I must say so myself. But I'm not, I'm married, so I mean, it's the left ring finger is blinging at this point. So I mean, like, and here's the funny thing is she's married too, right? But she just kept staring at me, and I was like, maybe I should go over and say hello. And I was like, no, I'm not going over saying hello. What am I? I mean, like, what? I'm like, it was like one of those situations where you had somebody had the little guy on your left shoulder and your right shoulder. He's like, man, go over there and say hello. And I'm like, man, I'm going over there saying hello. What I look like saying hello for? I'm gonna want to talk to her. And but she just kept staring at me the whole night, and she might as well have said, "Hey, handsome." And it's funny because like I came home and I told my wife about it. My wife knows her too, because again, she's a personality in the city. And my wife's like, she wasn't staring at you. I was like, yes, she was. And I still maintain to this day, she was because there was nobody else around but me. And she kept staring at me. And, now if this was, back in the day, man, I would have Steph Curry. I might have shot my shot, but I'm good. Anyway, staring is okay, but it could be a little creepy. Um, let's see what else we got here. Um, let me see. It says, oh, here's one way that a lady could shoot her shot. She said, "You smell good." Um, that's cool. That especially if you got on some cologne. That's cool, guys. Guys like this. Guys like this. I think that's a winner. I think that's a winner. Um, oh, here's another one. Somebody grabbed a clip from um the movie Love and Basketball. So it's a clip of Sanaa Lathan talking to um Omar Epps, and she says, "I'll play you for your heart." Man, listen. If a woman approaches me and says, "I'll play you for your heart," hey man, that is like beyond Steph Curry range. That is the ultimate shooting your shot. And I'm gonna assume that if you ask me to play me for my heart, that you can play ball because I can play, right? I can shoot. I can go to the cup. I can do whatever. So that's pretty dope. That's funny. That's funny and that's dope. I like that. Um, okay, this somebody else responded said, "Don't no woman need to be shooting no shot to a man. If a man wants a woman can get a man, and a woman what say what? If a man wants a woman, he will get at her, and if a man ain't man enough to get at a woman, that woman don't need him." Okay, that was a woman. I think she was asking for the fellas. Um, oh, here's a response. Guy says, just be straight up. Cut the corny pickup lines and tell me that you like me. You know what? I could roll with that. That's a legit shot. That's a legit, 17-footer, off the glass. I like that. I like that. I'm not gonna tell you what his the guy who responded, I'm not gonna tell you what his Twitter handle is. Um, oh, one of my followers actually responded. My man Ed James 01. He says, my eventual wife just tapped me on my shoulder and started a conversation. Of course, that was a long time ago. Yeah, Ed, I think the days of tapping on the shoulder, having a convo, um, that was that definitely isn't nowadays. Um, Here's another response. Just be you. Flirt a little bit. That's about it. If he's feeling you even a little bit, he will pick up what you're putting down. Preach. I'm with this. I'm with this. As someone, who used to flirt a lot, actually, that's what I was told. I don't think I flirt, but um, when I was single, I didn't think I flirt. I'm just I think I'm nice. And if you misinterpret my nice for flirting, then shame on you. But we ain't talking about me. Um, but nah, I think that's cool. Now here's the caveat to that. I will agree with him. Be you, flirt a little bit, but you gotta be careful because here's the thing, fellas. I don't want to say all ladies. Most of the ladies that I know can flirt. And most of the guys that I've come in contact with can't. So therein lies the problem. The people that I've come in contact with, that I've seen throughout the years and my trials and tribulations and my travels, the guys can't flirt. So like it's it, it would be futile for a woman to flirt with a guy who can't pick up what she's putting down. Like if she's flirting and the flirts are going over his head, I mean, those are just alley oops. She's throwing alley oops, and you just the ball is going over the rim. I mean, like, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. So I'm with that, but yeah, you gotta be careful with that. Let's get a couple more. This one says masculine. Oh wow, masculine men don't actually like when women are too forward. Let him lead. Let him find you. Chase a man if you want to. He's gonna be thinking he's the prize, expecting you to work hard and extra hard to keep him happy the whole relationship. Nah. Period. I don't know about that. That is it. I don't think it has anything to do with being masculine or whatever. I mean, like, no, I genuinely think that men, because here's the thing, and the reason why I say this is because I think most men don't get approached. So that's the difference. If you've always been the hunter, it's kind of cool to be the huntee, at least for a couple minutes. I mean, what's the harm in that? I don't know, man. That's that. I'm not really feeling that. One, just speak. and engage in a conversation. The rest will happen naturally. Okay, okay, I can feel that. Now you got to be able to talk. You got to have a mouthpiece. And therein lies the problem. Like when you have a situation where a woman approaches a man, um, for the conversation piece, she has to be able to talk. And then conversely, guys, you got to be able to talk back. Like, I mean, we as men can't say, hey, she's a bad conversationalist if you can't carry a conversation. And I think, and I've talked about this on previous podcasts, so it's worth repeating. I think, technology has spoiled and ruined some of the means by which we communicate. And the communication has gotten lost. And so there is a generation of people who are growing up, male and female, who really don't really effectively communicate, particularly in the courting phase. Or like we like to call it, the macking phase. Got to be able to mac. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, but that's cool. That's cool. I don't. I think we get it. One more. Just be straight to the point. I've lost count on the number of women who send their girlfriends over to tell me that they think I'm hot, or the number of signs that I've missed, like some chick staring at me from afar, or a smile that I'm supposed to interpret as flirty. Woo-wee. Man, listen. Um, I think he's got something right there. Um, yeah, I'm not with the send your girlfriend over. I mean, like, we ain't 12 no more. That's the equivalent. Sending your girlfriend over is the equivalent of, do you like me? Check yes, check no, check maybe so. I mean, it's 2022, people. I mean, what are we doing? 2023. What are we doing? What are we doing? Um, yeah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. Um I think these are some good examples, but I think hopefully you get the point. And fellas, I hope you get the point too as well. Like, we have to be encouraged by the fact that there are some women who are willing to shoot that shot. Now, keep in mind, there are a vast majority of women who will shoot the shot and they ain't afraid. And then you have some, not a lot, but some that will shoot the shot with ulterior motives. So they're shooting a three and they're looking to get fouled in the process because they're trying to get to the free throw line. And once they get to the free throw line, they're trying to get to the locker room, if you know what I'm saying. So, we got to kind of be mindful of all of that, fellas. But overall, I think the thing that the tweet taught me is, more than anything else, I think most men will appreciate it. I think they'll appreciate the honesty. I think they'll appreciate the directness, and I think they'll appreciate the effort if you're mature enough. Now, I'll be the first to admit, some guys, and this is going to be hard for women to kind of determine, but some guys, their shots, it's not even worth the woman to shoot the shot for them because they're assholes. And if you're a jerk, and then you add on the fact that on top of, a woman shot her shot at you, now you even bigger jerk because now you really think it's about you, and it's not. And it's not even that type of party. Now, if you're mature enough to handle it, and if she's mature enough, and I know that, the elephant in the room is that even the most confident woman is reluctant to shoot the shot because she's afraid she's gonna get blocked. And I'm talking about she's either afraid she's gonna get blocked or she's gonna shoot an air ball. One of the two. But I mean, to quote a basketball phrase, it's a make or miss league. You either make it or you miss it. But you miss all of the shots that you never take. Let me say that again. You miss all of the shots that you never take. That's going to do it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out this edition of the 12 Kyle podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast. The podcast is found on every podcast reader including the one that you're listening to right now. Podcast drops every Thursday at midnight. That's going to do it for me. I'm your boy, 12 Kyle. I'll catch you guys next time. 5,000.